To our dear panel members, co-researchers, wishing you all a wonderful day. My name is Margie A. Tingcang, and today I will be presenting my research entitled The Effectiveness of Differentiated Instruction Lesson Playlist Using Google Form in the Academic Performance of Grade 10 Students for Asynchronous Learning in Science. Now, you might be wondering why I chose this topic to discuss. The answer is as follows. To begin with, it is because of the COVID-19 pandemic that resulted to numerous restrictions, one of which is the suspension of face-to-face classes. But the Department of Education continued to provide quality education among students by providing different learning modalities that they can choose from. One of which is the online learning modality, wherein students are required to attend online classes through Google Meet and also accomplish learning tasks that are uploaded in the Google Classroom, wherein the students can answer the different learning tasks. However, the self-learning module for modular are identical with the learning activity sheets that are being uploaded in the Google Classroom without considering the learning style of every learner and also without considering differentiating instructions on the learning activity sheets. Now, in this action research, it focused on the effectiveness of creating a lesson playlist using Google Form, having different shaded instructions for grade 10 students for asynchronous learning in science. Research from various authors provide information regarding this topic. According to Educational Connections Tutoring 2021, that learners have a preferred way to learn and some have learned best by listening, some have to observe every step, while others have to do it to learn it. The fact is that individuals can learn in any of the three modalities to truly commit information to memory: visual, auditory, and kinesthetic. Lesson playlists can be differentiated as well and can be personalized using some online applications like Google Form, Google Docs, and many more. That's according to Graham 2019. In addition, in a study conducted by Gonzalez 2020, using playlists, the students have given the unit plan, including access to all the lessons. It could be in text or video form ahead of time. And in addition, the learning plan in hand, students work through the lessons and assignments at their own pace. Now, this is the proposed intervention, whereas this is the sample differentiated instruction Google Form lesson playlist. So it consists of different sections for a visual learner, auditory learner, and kinesthetic learner. And it also has the pretest and post-test link for the zip grade test for the students, and as well as the different learning tasks and links that are provided for this differentiated instruction Google Form lesson playlist. There are also examples of the learning tasks in the visual learner and also another for the auditory learners, wherein there are recorded lessons for wherein auditory learners can listen to while answering the learning activity sheets. For research methodology, for research subject were grade 10 students who are enrolled in the current academic year were given assent and consent form, and only 68 students returned the assent and consent form, and they were considered as participants. They were given the online learning style assessment, wherein the questionnaires were adapted from O'Brien 1989 Learning Style Assessment Tool. 31 students who are under visual learners, 18 students under auditory learners, and 19 students under kinesthetic learners. For the data collection, the students were given pre-test and post-tests, and the scores were gathered and analyzed, and also the mean and standard deviation were computed, and also the pre-test and post-test scores were analyzed statistically using the t-test paired sample for means to analyze the data. For the findings, the bar graph shows that the pretest average mean score is 4.35 and a standard deviation of 2.04, while the post-test mean score is 8.10 and a standard deviation of 2.32. The findings suggest that there is an increase of 86.21% of the post-test scores after utilizing the differentiated instruction Google Form-based lesson playlist compared to the pretest scores. The standard deviation of the post-test score is much higher compared to the pretest score, which indicates that there is an increase in the post-test scores, even though there are students who got a score between 5 to 7. The result of the study was supported by a study that was conducted by Bohol and Prudente 2020 that a favorable result on student learning wherein students' learning style were considered and indicated that incorporating lesson playlists, elements in learning, and other forms of technology into scaffolding the lessons can be an effective way to increase students' engagement and motivation, resulting for improving students' academic performance. In Table 2 indicates that the t-stat is not between the range of negative and positive 1.99 of the two-tailed, and the computed p-value is less than 0.05, which means that the null hypothesis is rejected. The results indicates that there is a highly significant difference between the pretest and post-test scores of the selected grade 10 students using the differentiated instruction Google Form lesson playlist. The same results were achieved by the study conducted by Ferran 2021 on extended technology acceptance model to examine the use of Google Forms-based lesson playlists in online distance learning, that when educators carefully design a digital learning technology addressing its adoption barriers, the students can independently use the technology without difficulty, while they increase their productivity in accomplishing the task with less assistance from the teacher. However, in the study conducted by Fritz Ferran, the learning activity sheets were not designed based on the learning style of the students, but according to Graham 2019, a playlist can be differentiated and can be personalized using some online applications like Google Forms, Google Docs, and many more. For the implication of the findings, students' test results increases, which means that their academic performance have improved. Second, the post-test mean score was statistically significantly higher than the pretest mean score, which implies that the intervention is effective in increasing students' performance in science. For the conclusion, students demonstrated a significant improvement on the test results. There is a significant increase in the post-test scores compared to the pretest scores, and the utilization of differentiated instruction Google Form-based lesson playlist has significantly improved students' academic performance in science. For the recommendations, utilization of differentiated instructions Google Form-based lesson playlist to other grade level, design more learning activity sheets that suits the learning style of students, and lastly, create a more organized and creative Google Form-based lesson playlist that can motivate students to learn. Here is the action plan for the differentiated instructions for asynchronous learning in science using Google Form. So first, section 1 for creation of differentiated instruction lesson playlist. So the activities focuses on the preparation of the lesson playlist and also for the validation and also for the testing for the grade 10 students for the online learning style assessment and also the use of differentiated instruction lesson playlist. Time frame is August to October 2021, so it's already accomplished. Section 2, dissemination of results, a finalization of the action research full paper. So write the full paper and presentation of the results in various research conferences, November to December 2021. So it's already accomplished. Section 3 is the LAC session, conduct of the LAC session, which is done already last December 2021, where it was attended by all science teachers. And section 4 will be a workshop on creating differentiation lesson playlist. It will happen hopefully next year, January to February 2022, and their expected output is to develop a differentiated lesson playlist using Google Form to all topics with less mastered competencies. Now, here are some of the references that were used in this study. That ends my presentation, and thank you for listening.